Buzz Pop is an entertainment-based podcast that aims to provide engaging and informative discussions on various entertainment and popular culture topics. The information presented in Buzz Pop is based on personal opinions, experiences, and research of the hosts and guests. While every effort is made to ensure accuracy and up-to-date information, we cannot guarantee the completeness or correctness of the content discussed. Buzz Pop may, on occasion, engage in affiliate marketing. We may earn a commission from certain products or services mentioned, recommended, or linked to in our episodes or show notes. Now, let's get it.
Yes, it's that time of year. The football gods have spoken, and they have chosen two titans of teams to collide together for Super Bowl 58. And for all of the rest of us who may not always partake in football, we are going to give you everything you need in order to stay informed about everything Super Bowl, not football, but football. Very much related. So it is that time. Yes, I am joined by two dynamic popular culture football media analysts that are going to talk about everything Super Bowl, not Super Bowl related at all for the Super Bowl, not Super Bowl special. And let's get this started. I'm joined by Miss Tamika Nwalipenja, who is the co-founder of CrossRoads International, the Universal Pathways to Success, and co-host of the fan sports show It Takes Two. And I'm joined by Miss Shannon Finegan, media researcher at NFL Films and sports writer. Let's get into it.
Only one legend is going to the Super Bowl. Who will make a global trend? Who will send vibrations throughout the entertainment world? Their name is mentioned more than Brittany Mahomes and Brock Purdy combined. We think this heavyweight entertainment god has given hit after hit after hit. Who is swift enough to set Super Bowl 58 on fire? Taylor Swift has been credited with creating and reinventing swag surfing. She brought back women's jersey attire and made a puffer vest look adorable. Is Taylor Swift effect changing the game?
Let's get into Super Bowl. So let's talk about the most important thing about Super Bowl. The most important person in this Super Bowl that the whole world is discussing. They want to know what they're going to wear when they arrive. They're going to want to know if they're going to arrive. They want to know every time there's a touchdown, will we see their face? And who am I talking about? None other than popular culture icon, Miss Taylor Swift.
Yes, Taylor Swift.
It's all about Taylor. It has been about Taylor.
Yeah.
But I have an important question to ask you both. Is the Taylor effect real? And if it is real, is it good for the game? Or is it bad for the game? I'm going to go with the self-proclaimed Swiftie, Miss Shannon Finegan. And I want her to explain to me, is the Taylor effect real?
Yes, it's very real, and I think it is a positive thing. I think it's really positive for the NFL. They want this. They want as many views as they can get, whether these people watching are actually caring about the impact or the outcome of the game. They want those numbers, and Taylor Swift is bringing in an egregious amount of numbers. And with the amount of fans that she has, if a small portion of those fans continue and found their love in football through this, and they continue to watch after all this craze is over, that's still a lot of new fans that the NFL has brought in via Taylor Swift. I've been seeing online, it's bringing families together. It's bringing fathers and daughters together. I think it's been a really, really great positive thing for the NFL.
And for those of you that don't know about the numbers that Taylor Swift has brought in, multiple outlets are saying this. Taylor Swift has generated the equivalent brand value of $331.5 million for the Kansas City Chiefs franchise and the NFL combined. She has changed the female viewership it's at a staggering 53% increase of those aged 12 to 17. 34% rise in those over 35, women over 35, and 24% in the demographic of 18 to 24. That's insane. Not to mention, she will be in Tokyo. She has a concert, I believe it is, on February the 10th. The Super Bowl is on the 11th.
Right.
So now everybody wants to know if she will make it to Vegas. But speaking of her impact, the airlines have even changed the name of the flights
I saw
to
that.
1989,
Stop it.
which is her album.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you. The
To go
effect
from
is,
Kansas City to Las Vegas, right?
yes,
Wow.
that's insane.
Yeah.
Tamika, let me ask you, as a football fan, it seems like the effect is definitely happening. We've seen an increase. Is it good though?
Okay, so I do believe it's a good thing for the NFL, honestly. I think it's great that they're trying to, and that they have increased their female viewership. But as a fan, as like a serious fan, not somebody that just jumps on the bandwagon for a moment, but as a serious fan, I love to see my other sisters coming together, sitting on the couch with their husbands and, making it a family thing. I think it's a beautiful thing because, that's how it is in my home. We all watch games together. But at the same time, honestly, when Travis Kelce gets that touchdown, I want to see Travis Kelce like celebrating because he is a player who is known to celebrate and have his little touchdown dance. I would love to see, his teammates come out. They do a little chorus line act together. That's what I love, right? But then when he gets a touchdown, the camera like pans to Taylor Swift. And it's like, every 5 seconds, it's like, she's there. Even with the reception, they pan the camera to Taylor Swift. And part of me is like, okay, I think it's great that she's supporting her man. I love it. I would do the same thing. I would probably be crazier than what she is. But at the same time, do we have to see her so much? Like, I know that this is great for the NFL. It's bringing money in and so many, young ladies are watching it, especially that gap between that age range from 12 to 24. I think it's amazing, but I do think they're overdoing it just a little bit because to me, it's also, I think not so much about for now, but I'm thinking long term. So let's say, for example, if this relationship doesn't work and I'm not, it's to them, the two of them to decide I'm not in a relationship. Either way, life continues to go on, right? So, but what if they break up in the off season? What's going to happen to those numbers of that 12 to 17 and that 18 to 24? You're going to lose ratings. You possibly going to lose a little bit of money from that too. So I think that's something that the NFL needs to think a little bit about before they put all their eggs in one basket. But again, I mean, it's great. I'm happy that they found love with each other. I'm a huge Travis Kelce fan. I love his brother. Of course, he's with the Eagles. But part of me is kind of like,
he's a sexy NFL player out there.
Yes.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
I just had to throw that in there. I love that.
Especially that dance.
I absolutely love that. But here's what I think. I think Taylor has done something that no other female wag or wife and girlfriend has been able to do. She has made it interesting for female fans because the NFL base is largely male and older. Like it's an older male base. So being able for the NFL to expand that more and to showcase that this is not just a game for men, I think even if you're watching it for Taylor, you get caught up in the game because she loves the game. So now you want to know more. Are your spouses or people who love football like, please stop asking me questions? That is a touchdown, not a home run. But it does bring you into the conversation.
It does.
I think you bring up a good point, though. What do they do if that relationship doesn't work? Do we now need Lamar Jackson to date Meg the Stallion? Like, how do we keep that? How do we keep it going? How do they keep it going? How do they keep female? If they're only watching this for the Taylor effect, Taylor does this with everything. It's not just with the NFL. It's with clothing. It's with phrases. We've seen now that the puffer jacket. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit with the deal that Kristen Usyk actually got.
Yeah.
But she was able to make that popular again. Because back in my day, jersey dresses were a thing. So now she was able to change that, where women everywhere are either trying to figure out how to make those or buy those.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out how the NFL capitalizes off of this female momentum without Taylor Swift. So Shannon, how does the NFL keep that momentum going without depending on Taylor Swift? She can't be at every game.
Yeah. No, it's a really good question. I mean, I don't think they have to do much. I think the clothing brand is probably the one thing that they can keep if Taylor Swift kind of fell out of the limelight a little bit. Because Brittany Mahomes is going to be there, and she was the one that's been wearing Christian Usek's clothes so often and kind of got Taylor to wear it. But, you know, I think what they were doing before was fine. Like, I don't think they need to, like, find another girl to, like, claim as, like, their star.
Right.
But, yeah, like, focusing on, like, the clothing brand, I think would be a really good deal for them. I think a lot of girls would be interested to still see what the other wags are wearing. And yeah, like, so they definitely have to walk the fine line of like showing Taylor Swift too much or not showing her enough, because they want those views in, but those girls are really watching to get the 4-second glimpses of Taylor. So it's a fine line for the NFL to walk. I definitely think they've decreased like how much they have shown her since like the very beginning. They still show her a lot, but like I think they heard that outcry in the beginning. It was like, okay, like we'll chill. So it's a fine line they have to walk. But I do think, you know, in the years to come, even if they're still dating, maybe she doesn't make it to every single game anymore, I do think the NFL will be okay, especially if Travis like still brings in like traction from the relationship outside, like with his podcast and things like that, that'll still translate to people and Swifties wanting to watch for him, just for him because it's Taylor Swift's boyfriend, not even for her.
Right.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Maybe Taylor could even purchase, you know, be a part of a franchise, maybe on the ownership side. That could be pretty cool too. I don't know, Taylor.
I know her dad's like really, he's really wealthy and into sports as well. So it could be like, you know, it's a family thing.
Heck, Taylor, I think we might be onto something. Perhaps you purchasing a team, or at least maybe not the whole team, but maybe a small portion, minority ownership of a team.
Yeah,
I like it.
And Lisa, can I speak to that real quick? Because that's something what came to my mind as well. Because I agree with everything you guys are saying. And also to add on there in terms of like ownership, I think another way that they can increase their female viewership is just in hiring more women, more female executives, more female officials, which we're starting to see a lot more now. And really, you know, just hear from women a lot more. Like I know here in Philly, the Philadelphia Eagles, like they have their Women's Leadership Academy every year. Women come in, they talk about the game, we meet players. It's amazing. And I'm surprised at how so many women from the area come in and they know the game, they talk about players. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like, to me, it's like, I'm like a kid in a candy store when I go, right? And I think that just in terms of those executive positions and having more women in those places, positions of authority, to be able to speak to the female population and to kind of like gear it and market it towards us, because we're out here. Believe me, it's a huge population of us that's out here. But I think regardless, the NFL is going to make their money no matter what. Even if we disagree with play calling and the turnouts of games, we'll still watch it. So they'll figure out a way to still have our viewers, to have our ratings and all.
I agree with that. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to talk about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, if this is a publicity stunt or is this true love? As I know a lot of people now are thinking that this may not be what they're saying it is. And I would also like to hit on Brittany Mahomes. You brought her up just really briefly because there's a love-hate relationship with Brittany Mahomes. And I have an opinion on that. I don't know if people will like it, but I do have an opinion like everyone else. So let's hit this quick break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, okay?
All right.
Hey, have you ever wanted to try the world? Well, guess what? Here's your chance to try the world and give Try the World to a loved one. So for this upcoming Valentine's Day, there's an amazing promo going on Don't miss their first main promo of 2024, where you can enjoy 20% off any standard order or gift on an exotic food journey around the world with code LOVE20. Plus, get up to $180 in additional savings at checkout with 3, 6, and 12-month subscriptions. So make sure you use LOVE20. It starts on February 1st and ends on February the 18th. So make sure you head over to M.A.P.S Media right now so that you can check out. Thank you for coming back. We appreciate you for not going anywhere. We love it. I have missed Shannon Finegan. She is a writer and she's also with NFL Films. I am also joined by Miss Tamika, who is not a Taylor Swift fan as much. Well, I don't know.
I like a couple of her songs. I can get down with a few of her songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And co-host of the It Takes Two podcast, as well as the co-founder of CrossRoads International and the Universal Pathway to Success. So, ladies, we were getting into everything Taylor, and is the Taylor effect real? Numbers-wise, it looks like it is. However, there is sometimes things that happen in Hollywood where two forces are put together for whatever reason, allegedly, and to help boost numbers and attention. Are Travis and Taylor really truly a thing? Or do you believe that this is publicity gold? Because both of them have gotten a little boost, especially Travis, who now they are saying created the fade. But nonetheless, is it real?
Yes, it's real.
You think so?
Why?
I do think so. Tamika, do you think it's real?
I hope it is, because I love love. I'll be honest. I really hope it is, but I'll be honest, it was a real surprise to me when they first started dating. It was put out there that they were dating, because if you follow his career, and I mean this with all respect, when you follow his career and know the type of women that he has, dated or been connected to, Taylor Swift would have been the last person that I would have thought that he would have found this relationship with. So it's very strange to me. So, but I hope it works. I mean, I love love. I love to see people in love and her cheering on her boo. I love it. But it will hurt a lot of people later down the line if this does not work.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that it's both. I think it's both. I think they, there is some connection there. It seems like they genuinely like to be around each other, but I think there is a little bit of publicity now that they know that people are into it. We didn't see it quite as often until she came to that first game, and then it was like, because I don't know, maybe as the Swiftie, we're going to say you are the Swift expert. Has she gone to any other NFL games in the past? Is this something new?
It's definitely new. She talked about it a little bit when she was interviewed for being the Times Person of the Year, that she was like, wow, football is actually really exciting. Like, I've been missing out on this my whole life. And for being also from Philadelphia, and she has ties to the city, we know that her dad is a big Eagles fan, and I thought she was an Eagles fan, maybe not anymore.
Right.
But so we kind of like knew that if she had to pick a team, like she would be an Eagles fan, but she's never gone to a game. Her dad probably has, but no, she was not. I mean, she's very artsy. She's into music. I think football was like the last thing on her mind until Mr. Travis Kelce called her out on the podcast, and then everything changed. But yeah, so she said that she was missing out on it, and she's been really enjoying it so far.
So that's why I think it's both. It's a little both. I think they do like each other, but.
And even for her to like say, for her dad to be a really big Eagles fan, I've seen more games with Bradley Cooper here at the Lincoln Philly than I've ever seen Taylor Swift. So, and I watch football every Sunday, as many games as I possibly can, reruns, everything, you name it. And I've never seen Taylor Swift at any of these games until this season with the Chiefs.
Yeah. So I think it's both. And I just wanted to hit on Brittany Mahomes, because you brought up Brittany Mahomes, because she really was like the pioneer a little bit of wearing, especially on the Chiefs, with the wives and girlfriends, with wearing the unique clothing or the personalized brand. Now, if you follow the Chiefs, you know that Brittany Mahomes is at almost every game. She supports her husband through and through. She's there. A couple years ago, I believe she may have gotten in trouble for sprinkling champagne on people when they won. So I know that was a bit of a thing. And after the Ravens game, there was rumors going around that she wasn't very nice to the staff in the stadium. Now, I saw or read what happened. It didn't seem as terrible as they were making it sound on Twitter, or X rather. But why do you think people embrace Taylor, right? Well, we get it. Taylor's a global superstar, but they embrace Taylor. But Brittany Mahomes gets such a bad rap. Do you think that there's something there? Like the love-hate relationship with Brittany?
With Brittany, I would say it's how you put yourself out there. Taylor Swift has created a really good image about herself, just being a very, in some cases I've heard, kind to her fans, really reaching out to fans and just showing herself as a very loving person. And, from what I've read in articles and heard what other people say, just things online, Brittany Mahomes is not like that. Like, she presents herself in a very I'm Mrs. Patrick Mahomes kind of way, do you know who my husband is? And, part of me wants to, and I don't hate her. I don't even know her. But there are some times when some things are done that it's kind of like, okay, that's a little bit above and beyond. Like, that's a little bit too much. But I mean, other than that, she's enjoying her life. She's enjoying what the success her husband has done, this huge empire that they've created. And now she's like Taylor Swift's best friend. So who wouldn't eat it up? You know what I mean? But yeah, I think it's more so of the image of herself that she's put out there to the public that makes people in a situation of that love-hate kind of thing.
Because she's got more hate.
Exactly it.
It's the Taylor Swift relationship. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Shannon.
Yes, my bad. But I think that's exactly it. Like the image, how she presents herself. And I mean, she got in the limelight at a really young age, and she's had no previous experience with being on camera and having followers, whereas Taylor Swift has had years and years of experience. So
that's a good point.
I think, she didn't really know what she was getting herself into, and she was just being a really supportive wife. And I can definitely see why her actions would come off as obnoxious and annoying. And I've definitely thought that in the past for sure. But I think the hate towards her it's dumb. I think people are just looking for something because it's Patrick Mahomes and he has everything and they have everything. So they look for the one thing, but I'll defend her. I think she's just a really supportive wife.
I enjoying the money and the fame too.
I know, and I can run these with Taylor. It's crazy.
Yeah, I agree. I think Brittany Mahomes gets a lot more flack than most other girlfriends of players or wives of players, because first of all, they're winning. Anytime you have a team that's winning, they're going to dislike you. The same thing happened with Tom Brady and Giselle. People started to dislike Giselle, and they were saying, Giselle is a mean person and this is what she's doing, and everything she did was critiqued. So I think that comes along with it. Not to mention Brittany is also an athlete. She was an amazing collegiate soccer player. Even played professionally overseas, I believe in Iceland. So she has that fire. So when you're an athlete and you're in that environment, sometimes you may not necessarily have the best because what that feels like to be on the field. So I think that's what it is. Do I know Miss Mahomes? No. Do I see her in my nightmares because I'm a Ravens fan? Yes. I'm gonna defend her and say that I think she's just very supportive of her husband. Now that you know about Taylor and Travis, we have to talk about this brand new NFL deal that is going to change and revolutionize female clothing with the NFL. Gucci-esque? Maybe? I don't know. We'll see.
Hopefully not that price.
All right. So if you've not heard, Kristen Juszczyk, who is the wife of fullback Kyle Juszczyk, who is on the San Francisco 49ers. He's actually going to be playing in Super Bowl 58. Now, she got a brand new deal with the NFL. She now can use the official licensing and name and logo on her clothing. She was using refurbished jerseys and other NFL apparel in order to make custom-made clothing for high-profile NFL fans and wives and girlfriends. Now, this will mark the first time that I believe Miss Yusick actually is able to, that has a deal. I do not believe she had a deal before then, and the league did not disclose the financial agreement between the two. Now, let's talk about it, because female clothes for the NFL are not always the cutest, a little bit matronly. Will this actually revolutionize female clothing in the NFL and make it a little bit more hip, a little younger, and actually bring in more revenue because of the types of clothing she can make? And will this also expand the people who are purchasing those clothes and actually keep some of that female fan base?
It's going to be very interesting. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, huge props to her, because I know NFL licenses are really hard to come by. So the fact that she was able to get one is amazing. And I guess what she's been doing so far is refurbishing jerseys. So she's taking jerseys and she's kind of taking them apart and putting them, making them into vests, making them into coats. So it'll be interesting if she sticks with that and like refurbished jerseys, or if she tries to pivot to make something, that maybe a little easier to make, or something like that. But I do believe that she will kind of stick with that and keep like the jacket and the vest vibes going, and that'll be like the majority of like what she'll sell.
And with apparel that was targeted for women, for the NFL, yeah, it does need a lot of updating. And I would say, because when I look at like the NFL fan, like the women fan base, the NBA female fan base, like the NBA soccer ladies, they have it on lockdown, like seriously. And I feel as though, there is a sense of like, as women, you want to be sporty, but at the same time, you also want to be sexy. So when I looked at some of her pieces, I said, you know what? Wow, this is some of it. I was kind of like, hey, it's not really for me. But some of her pieces, like, I'm like, wow, like you go, girl. Like, seriously, the way she's brought like this urban feel to it, but yet it still has like this athletic feel and it's a little sexy. Personally, I think this is a great move for her. And I'm so grateful that, that we have someone now who's up there who can kind of be a voice for women. Because when I think of her story, I just think of preparation meeting opportunity. And she's been, busting her butt for the past few years, trying to really get this out there. And be in a situation where you have somebody who can showcase your talent and what you're able to do, and then have like a huge superstar and Taylor Swift kind of back it up and wear your outfits. I think it's great for her. When people are trying to get the bag, go for it. I'm all with it, especially when you're doing it in a positive light. But I hope she makes her line like for all sizes of women, because some of her stuff is super cute. And I just hope that everyone can be included and that the price point won't be, it won't be super expensive, but something that we can all afford and yet still look cute, and that it's something that it feels good to wear and to make us feel good.
I'm thinking, I agree with you. I'm hope that she includes a multitude of body types.
Of course,
I do want to put out there that she's absolutely gorgeous. So when you see the stuff that she has on, she looks like a model. So I don't know. So we may not all be able to support that look, but what I'm hoping is that she does give a lot of the jackets. I think you're right, Shannon. We'll see a lot of like custom made jackets that's easier to mass produce. I don't think we're going to get like the suits and, the specialness that she does each and every game. But I am really happy for her, because this all started from her making Halloween costumes for her and her husband.
Right.
That's how she got her start. Now, I know a lot of people were a little upset because it felt like nepotism, because she is the wife of a player. And like you said, Shannon, it's very hard to come by these NFL licensing deals. Do we think that is that problematic? That if there's a lot of women out there that make very similar clothing that can't necessarily get that close to the NFL, is that a problem? Or should we just celebrate this for what it is? It's a woman who was able to get her foot in the door, and she's really going to be able to make some waves with the NFL clothing.
It does kind of suck because, and sorry to use that term, but it's like, darn, because there's so many people who are so talented and so gifted who are waiting for that opportunity. And we know the fashion business is not an easy field to like break loose in. But at the same time, I'm a firm believer if you celebrate with somebody, then success will come your way as well. You know, there are so many, like I can watch a lot of sports analysts, female analysts, and be like, oh my gosh, she's terrible. You know, but it's more so along the line of, wow, well, look at her. You know, she's where I want to be one day. You know, she's making bank, she's doing her thing and, you know, really living out her talent, living out on her gift. So to me, it's more like, let me celebrate for her, honestly, because you never know what door will open up for you. You never know when somebody will be that person that's going to put that word in there. But you wish, you know, my hopes is that for someone like her and for other people who have opportunities of such, that you give back to others and maybe support that struggling college fashion student or someone who lives within. I know she went to school in Maryland, she's from the Baltimore area or something. Perhaps maybe create some kind of a program for young up and coming designers. So I hope this is something that she doesn't hold to herself, but can really branch it out and really support other young up and coming designers who, you know, one day would love to be in the same space and where she is.
Yeah, like she keeps the door open. I absolutely appreciate that. And I didn't know she was from Baltimore. Okay. Hey, hon.
Yeah, like she went to Townsend University.
Oh, she did graduate from Towson. That is correct. I remember that now. Yes, she is an alum. I did my undergrad at Towson. So there you go.
Nice. Okay.
So, girl, call me, send me something.
Right. We done put it out there for you.
A scarf, a glove, I'll take it. Whatever you can do. But I think this is a good deal for women overall. And I think we should celebrate her for what this is. This is an incredible deal. Great. And congratulations to her. I don't know if I'm rooting for her or her husband in the I don't know who I'm rooting for. I may just watch it. That I think that it is.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. But we are going to take our final pause. And when we come back, we got to talk everything halftime, everything Usher. And you know you can't have a sports show without picks. So we got to give you our picks for the songs that Usher is going to actually play in the show halftime. Stay right there.
M.A.P.S Media is in full effect, bringing you passion, diversity, and upbeat content for the ages. Make sure you follow M.A.P.S Media on social media and go to millennials.us for updates on shows and brand new content like Are You Anxious, Buzz Pop, Millennial Class, and Underground Plugged. Keep it locked here on M.A.P.S Media, where we put you on the map.
All right, so we've come up on the end of it. We've been getting into everything Taylor Swift, everything Travis Kelce. We even brought up Brittany Mahomes and the brand new licensing deal that Kristen Jusic has with the NFL. Now, we have to talk music. Because if you are a person who watches the Super Bowl, and there's a lot of people who watch the Super Bowl that don't watch the NFL or football at all, like ever, the one thing that they come for is the halftime show. And this time, we have Usher. Usher has a catalog longer than probably Shannon's been alive. And we've got to get into it. So first, before we get into our picks, what do you think about Usher in the halftime? Are you excited about it? Do you think this was a good idea? Do you think he's really going to bring it? What are our thoughts on Usher?
Long overdue. Usher.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Right, Shannon? Like he should have done this
before.
Exactly. Like seriously. Like I remember I remember a couple of years ago, Wendy Williams, when she was on television, she had said they were trying to figure out who was going to do the performance during that time, and she said, "Why doesn't Usher do it?" And I was like, "Oh my God, he would be the perfect person." And I think they ended up choosing like someone else, and there was J-Lo and all. And yes, I'm so excited. I'm so happy for him that this opportunity has finally come. He is going to bring it because he is so talented. He's an entertainer. He can sing, and I mean, he can sing and he can dance. He can engage the crowd. I mean, and women love him. It's like he just brings it. I'm like so excited for him, and I think he's a fellow Libra, if I'm not mistaken. And you know, we
Are you
bring
a Libra? Oh, Libras connect. There you go. What are your thoughts, Shannon? What
I
about
totally agree. I think he is the perfect performer. He has songs. He has a huge catalog of songs, like you said, but he has songs that everybody knows. Like he has a lot of radio songs, which play very well in these types of performances. So, and like you said, he can sing and dance. He is a great performer. I know he's been doing like Vegas residencies for the past like year, and I've been seeing like a lot of hype online about that.
I'm excited too. I think Usher is a great pick. I agree with you. He has a lot of music. He has a lot of songs, and like you said, mainstream. So people won't just be sitting there. We all have seen the memes now about Usher. So I think everybody knows all of Usher's songs. But he has so many. Now we have to do our picks. Tamika, I'm coming to you first.
All right.
We're not going to do all because that's a long, that's a lot of songs.
Yes.
But let's say at least give me 3 songs that you think that Usher must play.
Okay.
Or he will play during his halftime.
Okay, definitely he has to do Baby Tonight. Like, Baby Tonight. Definitely has to do that one. Definitely. Like, that's one that, like, that will get the crowd pumped with the music and, like, the sound of it. I would love to see him do Caught Up. I love Caught Up. And that's another song. Intro is really off the hook. And I think if, when they're, when the performers are up there, they take a moment, kind of like a slow down moment. I think his slow down song should be Confessions.
I agree with you. I think Confessions. I think Confessions is it.
And everyone loves that song.
I agree with you. And Shannon?
My favorite Usher song, and the one that I think will really bring the house down, is Yeah, featuring Lil Jon and Ludacris.
I agree.
Yes.
Second, I think DJ Got Us Falling in Love is a great option. And then
That's a great
one of the ones I know he's most famous for is OMG. So I feel like I could definitely see him playing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's hype. It's a hype song.
Exactly.
So I do like your picks quite a bit. I agree with both of you. I think definitely. That was a big hit. I'm old, and that song it's different for me. So definitely has to be there. I'm thinking he's got to go back retro. He's got to go back to Nice and Slow. That was his first song.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think You Got It Bad. He has to do You Got It Bad. So that's my picks. We'll see who's right.
We're all right.
Right. Because 2 of the songs I had on my list, Shannon, you said it. So I'm like, yes, he's definitely doing it.
I think Shannon may have the slight edge on the what actually happens because there's still a time constraint. What is it? 15? Is it 15 minutes or they get? I believe.
I think
30.
it's like 13. I remember last year they were talking about Rihanna. It was like 13 minutes. So I think it's around that.
Yeah, he can get a nice amount of songs in there. So we're about to see. I don't know who he will bring up. I don't think it will be Nicki Minaj. I don't think we will be seeing her.
I do think he'll bring somebody out though.
You think so?
I think so. I just feel like Usher is the type of performer that I feel like Rihanna was like, it's her stage, only her. We only need her. And Usher could do that too, but they like to have surprise guests, and I feel like he will bring somebody, but I really have no idea who.
Maybe the song with
Will.i.am.
He would.
Or Ludacris,
Yeah, he could do Ludacris. Yeah, he could do that. And then if he does OMG, Will.i.am.
Yeah.
Will.i.am.
Yeah.
I did see a theory put out there that I would love, but I don't think this will actually happen, is Justin Bieber.
Yo, don't play like that.
Because
that would be cool.
They have a bunch of songs together, and everyone knows their history, and they're like, Justin Bieber hasn't performed in like a year, but he just performed at the NHL All-Star game.
Okay.
And, like, maybe he's coming back in
Trying
a
to
little
come back
bit for his halftime surprise.
I actually think that's sexy.
I wouldn't be mad.
I think it would be awesome.
Yeah.
And you think Baby?
Yes.
Bring back the original swoop. I love it. I think that would be awesome.
It
and
would
I
be
think
sick.
it would be so cool.
Everyone
Well, I
love it.
want to thank you both for coming and talking about everything not Super Bowl for this Super Bowl special. And before we go, I want people to follow you guys. I want them to hear more from you because you're awesome and you know the game. Although today we were keeping away from the game itself, I'm telling you, they know the game. So I want you to follow both of them in their journeys and everything that they're doing. So Shannon, tell people how they can get in contact with you and how they can follow your work.
Yeah, you can follow me on X or formerly Twitter at ShanFin0, so ShanFin0. And then from there, I post a lot of the articles that I write up about the Eagles and the Phillies, and have all of my other social medias linked as well. So yeah, Twitter would be a great way to connect.
Awesome. Tamika?
Sure. Well, Shannon, I'm about to start following you for sure. But no, you guys can find me on Facebook. We're going to be doing our little Super Bowl, pre-Super Bowl show next week. It Takes Two. So I'm really excited for that. I'm also on Instagram. I'm not on X. But that's something like my daughter keeps getting in my ear about to do. But I'm just grateful for this opportunity, Lisa. Thank you so much. And I hope we can all come together again.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
thank
definitely.
You so
You will not get rid of me now. I'm going to be like Joe from You. Without the killing part. Like, no, not the killing part. But I'm definitely going to be following you guys. You guys are going to be doing big things. I can definitely see it. I really enjoyed speaking with you both. And we got to come back eventually because talk about everything that happened at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We can break that all down.
That'd be awesome.
Right. Will we see Taylor Swift? How many times? Will it be a drinking game? Like, we have to figure all.
Who will Usher bring out?
Right. Are we right or are we correct?
Right.
Yeah.
We've got to break it all down.
You got
But
it.
for you guys joining us, we're glad you spent 30 minutes with us, or a little bit more than 30 minutes with us. And I hope that you come back again. And we may actually do that post Super Bowl, not everything Super Bowl special. Like, I'm serious about that. So make sure you also follow M.A.P.S Media. And you can also find us at www.millennials.us. You can follow me at Leise Winny on everything. I'm like Red Hot. I put it on everything. So just follow me wherever you can go, wherever you want to go. Trust me, I'm there. And make sure you download Buzz Pop. You can find that on Spotify, Apple, and everywhere you get your podcast. Thanks again. And make sure you come back now, you hear?